Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is James and this is Laverne, and you are watching Wonderful World. And in today's video I'm going to talk a little bit about what it takes for me to take care of all of these reptiles. And before I do that, I'd like to give you a couple disclaimers. For one thing, I am not a professional, I am not an expert, but I do have many years of experience taking care of all kinds of different reptiles and amphibians, and I've done just countless hours of research in order to be able to do that. And also, the purpose of this channel is not to encourage anyone to just go out and get a bunch of reptiles. For a large majority of people, I would not recommend doing that. I am in a unique situation where I am self-employed and I have the time and the resources to devote to these animals. But if you're someone who works during the day, or maybe is not at home at much, maybe you go to school, then too many reptiles is just not a good idea. Maybe one reptile or possibly two. But with that being said, I'm going to go through and basically show you what my morning routine is. I basically have kind of a morning routine and a late afternoon and evening routine that I go through to take care of these animals. As far as feeding goes, I have a feeding schedule where I feed the frogs and the geckos on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then I feed the snakes on Saturdays. So today I'm going to focus more on my morning routine and what that is. So without taking up any more time, I'll just get straight to that. So the first thing I have to do every morning when I get up is take Luna and Little Dog outside to do whatever they need to do. And they have their moments, but most of the time they're very good.
You're a good girl.
And of course I have to get my coffee. But then I go into the reptile room and the first thing I do is turn on all of the lights. And basically I just make a circle around the room, and as I turn on the lights, it gives me an opportunity just to check on each animal. I take a good close look at their enclosures and just make mental notes about what kind of spot cleaning I might need to do, how are their water bowls looking. And it just gives me an opportunity to see who's awake and what they're doing at that time in the morning. And here I can see that my garter snake Daryl is enjoying a soak in his water dish, as he often does in the mornings. And once all of the lights are on and I've checked that everyone is doing okay, then I make basically another circle around the room, and any enclosures that need misting get misted down. And here I'm misting the geckos enclosures. And it's really important to give the geckos a good mist and get water on the sides of the glass, because that is basically how geckos drink, by lapping up the water droplets off of the glass and the leaves. And here you can see my rough green snake, Ivy, out enjoying her morning. And rough green snakes are a lot like geckos in that they mostly drink their water by lapping the droplets off the leaves. So she gets misted every morning as well. And Ivy's colors and the way she blends into her environment, she is just so beautiful. And of course, the dart frogs need a good misting. Dart frogs don't drink water. Their only way that they take in any water is by absorbing it through their skin. So it's just really important to give them a really good misting. And I do that every morning and every evening. And as I continue to make my way around the room, I give a good spray down to my tomato frog scarlet. And like all of the other frogs, every morning I spray down the vivarium for my tiger leg monkey tree frogs. And last but not least, I give just a little bit of a spray for my ball python Jerry. And now that I got the misting out of the way, I basically make another circle around the room and do any kind of spot cleaning that needs done. And we'll just call it what it is. It's cleaning up poop. And here you can see my day gecko Carl has made a tremendous poop on the glass. And I'm just using a reptile safe disinfectant and some paper towels and getting that taken care of. And the geckos, even though they are small and their poops are small, they smell really bad. And so you need to keep on top of cleaning up any poop that you see. And even though their enclosures are bioactive, that still doesn't mean that you still have to do spot cleaning whenever you see a mess that the cleanup crew didn't take care of. And just like Carl, my crested gecko Morgan made a pretty nasty poop there. And on this morning, most of the enclosures were okay, but my king snake Rex made a few little piles that I got to take care of. And he's just a little baby, so his little piles are pretty small. And I'm working really hard to get Rex accustomed to me handling him in my presence. But you can see here as I touched him, he became really defensive and he rattled his tail. And I think at this moment here, he really wants to bite me. But that is just basically what a baby snake will do. And since he got a little agitated, I'm making sure he sees my hand. And I am going to basically put my hand in the enclosure and just let it stay there. And I'm going to keep my hand there until I see him relax. And it might take some time, but Rex will eventually learn that my hand is safe and that it's not food. And you can see here in a moment or so, he just relaxes a little bit. And I have never been bitten by a snake, not once. I can't even tell you what that feels like. Of course, Rex is probably too small to even get his jaws on me. But I am bound and determined for Rex to learn that I am his father and I take care of him and that I'm nothing to be worried about. So I made it around the room doing all of the spot cleaning, and now my next chore is to feed the dart frogs. And here I'm just getting their flightless fruit flies ready for them to eat. And I am getting them put into this deli cup with some calcium powder, and very shortly after I put them in, it will turn into a dart frog feeding frenzy. And they become accustomed to the sounds and the actions of me feeding, and you can already see them there coming down to the front of the tank because they know it's coming and they're really excited for it. And as far as feeding goes, I have a schedule that keeps me fairly organized. I feed all of the frogs and the geckos and the crickets for the rough green snake and my garter snakes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then I basically feed the other snakes every Saturday. And I feed the dart frogs in the morning most of the time, but everyone else, I usually do their feeding as part of my late afternoon or early evening routine. And I'm not quite done yet. I still have to make one more circle around the room and basically change out all of the water dishes. And so basically I have a bucket. I just take out the water dishes, empty out the stale water, and clean and disinfect the water dishes and refill those with fresh, clean water. And sometimes if their water dishes are not that dirty, I might just top them off like I do here for Jerry, my ball python. Okay, and that's it for today's video. I hope that gives you a good glimpse into what it's like for me to take care of all of these reptiles. And it is a big commitment, and it does take up a lot of my time. But just like raising any children, it's a labor of love. And I really appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favor and hit the like and subscribe. And until the next video, I look forward to seeing you again real soon.